Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez endorsement could reshape the upcoming Democratic mayoral primary in New York. Several candidates are vying for her support, focusing mainly on defeating Andrew Cuomo's influence. They've submitted detailed plans to her team, emphasizing strategy over basic ideological alignment. The real concern is who can win, not just who shares her views. Two progressive frontrunners have emerged, Zohran Mamdani and Brad Lander, each with strong followings. Mamdani, a democratic socialist, draws young, energetic supporters and grassroots excitement across the city. Lander, current city comptroller, has deep political experience and close ties to Ocasio-Cortez. Some allies worry Mamdani might struggle against Cuomo's funding and mainstream recognition. Others believe Lander offers a more stable and electable alternative in a general race. Her endorsement carries serious weight. Past support has shifted primary outcomes dramatically. Ocasio-Cortez must now balance her ideals with practical campaign calculations and future goals. Her decision may signal broader ambitions, like a potential statewide or national run. The clock is ticking. Early voting starts June 14, narrowing her timeline. There's speculation she might endorse both candidates or delay to keep options open. This would repeat her past caution, which sometimes reduced the impact of endorsements. Since 2023, over 2,600 jobs labeled with DEI have been eliminated nationwide. That's about 13% of all diversity, equity, and inclusion positions in corporate America. The cuts reflect a corporate retreat from DEI amid political pressure and budget concerns. Former DEI leaders report long job searches and shrinking opportunities across industries. One executive has been job hunting since last summer without a single offer received. Companies are merging DEI duties into broader HR roles or removing them entirely. Some cite cost-cutting, while others fear political backlash from continuing public diversity efforts. Many firms now avoid using terms like diversity or equity in job descriptions. Leaders say their missions remain unchanged, but strategies have shifted behind closed doors. This change follows growing backlash against DEI from politicians and conservative media outlets. Critics argue removing DEI roles threatens years of work toward workplace equity and inclusion. Employees from underrepresented backgrounds say they feel less supported and more isolated than before. Some organizations are quietly maintaining diversity efforts without drawing public attention to them. Advocates warn that silence and cuts will reverse hard-won gains in equity progress. They urge businesses to stay transparent and committed, even during political or economic pressure. Without accountability, experts say inclusion will fade, and workplace culture will suffer long-term. The Trump administration transferred thousands of federal land acres to the Department of Defense. The land is along the U.S.-Mexico border and meant for military operational use. Officials claim it's necessary to control illegal immigration and secure the southern border effectively. Local communities and environmental groups raised concerns about the move's ecological and legal impact. Some of the lands include national parks and public lands now closed to citizens. The transferred lands are known as the Roosevelt Reservation, a 60-foot border-wide strip. These lands stretch across 170 square miles in Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. The Pentagon is using the lands to create national defense zones for active operations. Zones function as extensions of military bases like Fort Huachuca and Fort Bliss. Military personnel are already on the ground building fences, patrolling, and conducting surveillance missions. thousands of troops were deployed, including striker brigades and aviation support units earlier this year. More than 2,000 reservists are stationed along the border ahead of Trump's return. Troops now operate surveillance equipment and temporarily detain border crossers until officials arrive. They are also authorized to install razor wire and conduct limited crowd control activities. Critics say this circumvents the Posse Comitatus Act, which restricts domestic military enforcement. Military presence dramatically changes the landscape. Patrols, razor wire, and armed vehicles replace natural views. On the Mexican side, families gather and jog. On the U.S. side, soldiers. Local voices say this feels more like a war zone than a national park. Environmentalists warn the move bypasses reviews and threatens fragile desert ecosystems and rare species. Some lands border protected wildlife areas and even national monuments, raising legal and environmental alarms. Experts say these desert lands support diverse wildlife and are vital for ecological balance. Concerns grow that more land will be militarized without public debate or transparency. The administration has defended the move as necessary for national security and enforcement. Senate panel probes whether federal scientists destroyed COVID records sought by Congress. Senator Ron Johnson claims a federal scientist may have destroyed COVID records requested by Congress. Dr. Tom Shimabukuro, a CDC official responsible for vaccine safety, is accused of deleting files. Johnson says Shimabukuro's documents are missing and likely removed from Health and Human Services systems. He has asked the DOJ, FBI, and HHS Inspector General to open investigations immediately. This follows earlier concerns about Dr. David Morin's avoiding federal record-keeping during the pandemic. Johnson insists accountability is critical when dealing with vital COVID-19 related government documents. He warns that destroying records may be seen as obstructing a congressional investigation. The case raises concerns about how federal health agencies handled records during the crisis. Congress is still investigating how the government managed key information during the COVID pandemic. These allegations may damage public trust in national health institutions and their transparency. The Supreme Court ruled presidents have immunity for official actions taken while in office. They have full protection for court duties and partial protection for other government-related acts. Personal or political actions not tied to duties are excluded from this legal immunity. This case focused on actions by a former president during his time in power. Critics warn the decision could lead to unchecked authority for future U.S. presidents. Supporters argue the ruling protects constitutional functions from legal and political interference. The majority stressed the importance of shielding presidential duties from courtroom challenges and delays. Dissenters say this allows possible abuses of power with little legal consequence or oversight. Experts disagree over how this precedent will affect future cases involving presidential behavior. The decision reshapes the legal boundaries of presidential responsibility and executive branch immunity.